Good evening and welcome to the brand new Frederick High School here in Frederick. I'm Jeremy Weathers on Morgan County's B106, the Fort Morgan Mustang wrestling team taking on the Frederick Warriors this evening. A couple of JV matches going on right now. Seth Gapter out there on the mat at 138 pounds taking on Dante Rivera, going for a pin in the second period there. Varsity action is going to be starting in just a few moments here. Our wrestling coverage this evening brought to you by Ingmeier Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. Ingmeier Phillips can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. And for Seth Gapter in his varsity match, so the Fort Morgan Mustangs get a JV win. Yeah, that's what I thought. Gapter got the pin. The official raised the wrong arm, raised the Frederick wrestler's arm. Then he got it corrected, so Gapter wins his JV match. Frank Rosales getting ready to step out on the mat for the Mustangs against Brandon DeFalco. DeFalco, a freshman, as is Rosales. That match will be underway, and then we'll get into our varsity lineup. Valley View Villa, one of our sponsors this evening as well. Look to the team at Valley View for rehab, short-term, or long-term care needs. Stop by 815 Fremont or call them today, 867-8261. 867-8261, the phone number for Valley View Villa. Give you our varsity lineup here. We'll get our starting weight here in just a moment, but looking from the lightweights up, Dustin Feather at 106 pounds now for the Mustangs. He'll be receiving a forfeit in that opening weight class of 113. Andy Bain will wrestle against Jesse Ortiz. The Mustangs are open at 120. Chance Warnock will take a forfeit for Frederick. At 126, Ian Wingstrom will wrestle against Isaac Chavez. At 132, the Mustangs' Justin Wood wrestles against Cody Campos. Jacob Gherkin wrestling at 138 pounds against Dylan Hughes. Cody Carpenter at 145 against Jordan DeFalco. At 152 pounds, Jacob Fritzler will wrestle against David Yang. Frank Rosales just got a first-period pin, 40 seconds for the Mustang JV wrestler as we finish up the JV action. At 160 pounds, Fort Morgan's Chris Schreiber wrestles Noah Payne. Caleb Bell at 170 for the Mustangs against Nick Henderson. Jesus Ibarra for the Mustangs at 182 against Nick Leckumiller. Toby McBride is going to bump up and wrestle 220 to take on Zach Tomasco. That'll leave 195 open for both teams and the heavyweight open for both teams. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll come back in just a couple of moments to get you ready for our first matches of the evening. We're back right after this here on Morgan County's B106. The Frederick wrestling team apparently is not used to their new building either and maybe got lost trying to find the way into the gymnasium. The varsity wrestlers have finally made it out. Fort Morgan's wrestlers were standing on mat side ready to be announced and ready to go. Had to wait a couple of minutes. So we're just about to get our starting lineup. We'll have our national anthem here in just a moment. I want to say thank you to B&B Appliance at 502 Ensign in Fort Morgan. They can help you save water, energy, and the environment without sacrificing quality and performance. Change for the better with B&B Appliance. We're going to get our national anthem here. Let's see if we can give you that. performance of the national anthem by a junior here from Frederick High School. Well, let's take a quick time out. We'll take one more commercial break. We'll be ready for our opening match. I believe we're going to be starting at 138 pounds here this evening. We'll be back right after this on Morgan County's B106. And welcome back to Frederick High School. We've got the lights dimmed, and we've got center mat lighting here this evening. Great facility here, the brand new Frederick High School. And I'll have to admit, I headed to the old Frederick High School, and there's not much of it left. Eventually found my way to the new school. It is a beautiful facility, so enjoying this. This will also be the site for the 4A Regional. The Fort Morgan Mustangs will be back here in just a couple of weeks. We'll be back on the air with regional wrestling coming up a couple more weeks. That will be coming up on February 15th and 16th will be our regional wrestling tournament, and we'll have 2A, 3A, and 4A regional coverage. That's going to move over to our sister station, 1010 KSIR, and of course we'll also have state wrestling on 1010 KSIR as well. That comes up February 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, live from Pepsi Center in Denver. Going to be a lot of fun to cover, and the Fort Morgan Mustangs should be sending a pretty decent contingent to the Pepsi Center here in just a couple of weeks as well. Just finishing up our lineups here, and we will be ready for our first match of the night. We can tell you about State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance Office in Great Mullen Express help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health insurance. State Farm Insurance is here for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call. The phone number 842-4555. 842-4555, the phone number there. And Tio Charlie's. Tio Charlie's at 700 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. They won't be beat by anyone when it comes to price. They'll help you find a car that fits your needs and your budget. If you don't see what you want, Tio Charlie's will find it for you. Log on to TioCharliesFTM.com to view their inventory, current specials, and apply for a loan online. Drive away with confidence at Tio Charlie's. That website again, TioCharliesFTM.com. All right, we're done with our lineups, and we are ready for our opening match of this evening that's going to start out at 138 pounds. Jacob Gherkin, he'll step out onto the mat to open things up at 138 pounds. He comes into this match with a 23-5 record. 23-5 for Gherkin. Gherkin, one of three seniors on the squad this year. Ian Wingstrom, Justin Wood, and Jacob Gherkin, all seniors. Going to do the coin toss and get that out of the way. And then we'll be ready for Gherkin's match. Gherkin at 138 pounds, wrestling against Dylan Shoup. And then at 145, Cody Carpenter will take on Jordan DeFalco. And at 152 pounds, Jacob Fritzler will wrestle David Yang. That's how we will start out our matches this evening. Platte Valley Hearing Center, one of our sponsors tonight. You don't have to travel out of town to receive the best and most advanced hearing health care. Visit Platte Valley Hearing Center at 409 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. And Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard. And they now carry appliances. Ackley Building Center at 1402 Mill Street in Brush. Gherkin gets checked in. He makes his way out onto the mat. The Frederick squad still huddled up on their side of the gymnasium. The blue and gold mat here at Frederick High School. White inside the 10-foot circle, the main mat. The gold color, blue in the out-of-bounds area. Nice mat, nice facility, and we are finally underway with our varsity match. Two wrestlers match up, forehead to forehead. Each taking turns with a quick shot. Neither gets very deep at all. They make their way back into the center. Gherkin latches on around the neck, tries to reach down and hook a leg, can't get it done. They'll break apart and come back to the center. 30 seconds gone quickly here in this first period of the opening match tonight. Couple of open weights. But a pretty full night. There's a reach for a single leg by Gherkin. He's got it, trying to get it pulled in. working slowly up the body, and he'll get his 2-point takedown. Shoup tries to sit out, and Gherkin put the chin in the shoulder and tried to suck him back and get some easy back points, but Shoup just wouldn't quite stay long enough. They're back into the referee's position with 50 seconds to go in the first period. Gherkin does get Shoup stacked up for a moment, and that's enough to get 2 quick back points. They'll make the score quickly 4-0, and now Gherkin gets things tightened down, and he's got Shoup in trouble. Settles in with a reverse half Nelson. 28 seconds left now into a full house half Nelson. Got it reinforced, and he's got Shoup down pretty flat. Shoup trying to bridge out. 18 seconds left in the first period. And Jacob Gherkin settle this out, open up the night with a pin in the first period. 10 seconds left in the first. Latches onto a leg to try and stack it up. Running out of time in the first period. Will he get the pin called? Pretty close, but looks like Shoup is able to swap out of it in the last few seconds. So at the end of the first period, it'll be a 7-0 lead for Jacob Gherkin. Gherkin gets the choice. He's going to work from the bottom of the referee's position. Gherkin up onto his feet. Shoup hangs onto an ankle, drags him back down, and nice combination of moves by Gherkin to hit that sit-out as soon as he hits the ground and rolls out and gets his escape quickly. So he leads now by a score of 8-0. Gherkin with an outside single leg shot and trying to walk up the body. He's got it again. He is up by a score of 10-0 with 30 seconds gone in the second period. Got an arm barred up. Got to walk around the head with it. Right near the edge of the mat, though, realizes that if he walks around in a counterclockwise motion, he'd be in trouble. Now, he's able to settle into that, reaches for an outside half Nelson and comes back, puts the weight back in, and he's got Shoup on his back. I don't know if he can actually get a pin from this position, but he's going to get some more back points. 50 seconds left in the second period. Shoup flopping pretty hard to try and put his hips up on top of Jacob Gherkin, but Gherkin now relaxing it back. 40 seconds left in the second period. There's a good pinning position for Jacob Gherkin with 35 seconds left in the second. And there's the pin called. So the pin comes at 3 minutes and 24 seconds. And the first points of the night go to the Fort Morgan Mustangs. Buildings by Design in Brush takes pride in their workmanship and quality of their relationships with clients. For a free bid, call Pat Walter at 842-5837. Building today's business, Buildings by Design. Our 145-pound match brings up Cody Carpenter to take on Jordan DeFalco. Mustangs leading in the duel by a score of 6-0 after that second period pin by Jacob Gherkin. Two wrestlers out on their feet, working near the edge of the mat. Carpenter backed up near the edge of the ring. A couple of shots attempted by DeFalco. Now they lock up, forehead to forehead. 35 seconds gone in the first period, scoreless. At 145 pounds, Cody Carpenter, the Fort Morgan Mustangs, taking on Jordan DeFalco. Two wrestlers continue to butt heads and then split apart. Carpenter drops down to a knee. Tries to pop up and open up a shot, but DeFalco not giving him an opening. DeFalco takes a crack at it, and Cody Carpenter will keep him away. Another duck under attempted by Carpenter. Now he's just driving in to DeFalco, and he'll drive him clear off the edge of the mat all the way across the ring. 39 seconds to go in the first period, scoreless. Second match of the night here at 145 pounds. An attempt by Carpenter, tried to do a throw. And a nice job by DeFalco to keep his hips back, and he drops in on top of him for the two-point takedown. Quickly, Carpenter earns the escape, and it's 2-1 with 15 seconds left in the first period. Two wrestlers out on the edge of the mat near the Frederick bench. And the first period is going to come to a close. 2-1 the score. Cody Carpenter is going to be trailing. So they'll come back to the center. Carpenter defers the choice off. And looks like Carpenter's going to be riding. Carpenter jumps on the right side, and we're underway in the second period. He flattens down DeFalco. Hard right crossface, but now DeFalco up onto his feet. They'll slip out of bounds just before DeFalco can get the escape. Carpenter gave DeFalco a little bit of a shove. The hometown crowd not happy about it, as DeFalco landed off the edge of the mat and onto the basketball court. The official already turned away to get back to the center of the ring. There's DeFalco onto his feet. There's the escape. And Cody Carpenter trails by a score of 3-1. Carpenter this season, his record is 7-15. Wrestlers stay on their feet, forehead to forehead, each looking to control a wrist. Minute 20 to go in the second period. Here's Carpenter in on a shot. He's got it. He gets his two-point takedown. Tries to work up the body, but they'll slip off the edge of the mat and come back to the center. We're tied 3-3 with a minute 13 to go in the second period. Carpenter's going to go with a freestyle start. And so DeFalco gets the escape, and the score is 4-3.
Gotta go, kid.
58 seconds to go in the second period as they slide out of bounds. Carpenter was trailing 2-1 at the end of the first period. Now he trails 4-3. Going to be a warning against DeFalco for stalling. Here's a shot. Short fireman's carry by Cody Carpenter, and they go out of bounds before he can finish the move. So they come back to the center with 45 seconds left in the second period. They both shoot at the same time. Somehow Carpenter ends up on top trying to spin around, and he does get his two-point takedown. So Carpenter's taking the lead 5-4. "20 seconds left in the second period. See if Cody Carpenter can ride this out. He's got a half Nelson in now. See if he can drive it over. 10 seconds left in the second period. 5 seconds. Still hasn't quite gotten cranked over to earn any back points. Getting close, but not far enough. He's not going to be able to get any back points, but he will lead by a score of 5-4 at the end of 2. So we'll head to the third period. Carpenter leading now by a score of 5-4. He'll start the third period from the bottom of the referee's position. Carpenter, a junior for the Mustangs. Gets a switch, comes out on top. And he's going to get a quick reversal. And he just lets up DeFalco. He's riding pretty high, so he just let him go. So the score now is 7-5. Cody Carpenter continues to lead. Duck under, he slips up behind. They stayed on their feet, and now DeFalco stays with it. But now Carpenter's going to be able to finish the takedown. They'll go up 9-5. Now DeFalco up on his feet, and DeFalco cuts him loose again. So 9-6. takedown and 4 escapes for DeFalco. Carpenter leading 9-6. Minute 10 left in the match. Fireman's carry dumps over DeFalco, and he'll get another 2-point takedown, lifting up 11-6. Under a minute to go in the match. Cody Carpenter leading 11-6. Trying to give the Mustangs their second win in 2 matches here in this duel. DeFalco has already been warned for stalling. Carpenter does continue to work. He's got the left arm barred up. Starting to walk over the head. 30 seconds left in the match. Carpenter continuing to drive, looking to tack on some back points. Leads by 5 now. 3 back points would give him a major decision here. Let's see if he can get it done. DeFalco flops all the way through. He was on his back briefly, but not very long. Carpenter continues to ride, and he's going to hang on for the final few seconds. He'll win this one. Final score is going to be 11-6. I'll tack on 3 more points for the Fort Morgan Mustangs. They lead in the duel by a score of 9-0. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Stubbs Gas and Oil is located at I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. No delay. Get there today, and the CY Convenience is Stubbs' middle name. Morgan Federal Bank, one of our sponsors tonight as well, keeping community banking simple and committed to their community. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, that's Morgan Federal Bank. We are underway with Jacob Fritzler at 152 pounds. Third match of the night here. He's taking on David Yang. Fritzler, 7-18 this season. Fritzler with the double-leg shot, and he gets a 2-point takedown. Rides from the left side, Yang up onto his feet, and they'll slip out of bounds. They'll come back into the center. Fritzler ready to jump on the left side. We're underway. A minute and a half to go in the first period. Clock never started. Fritzler hanging on in a double-leg position, trying not to give up the escape. Drives over Yang and remains in control. Had a half Nelson in fairly deep, but couldn't get it finished. Now he's reaching across, trying to set up a cradle. With a minute 10 to go in the first period. Fritzler working from the left side. Yang tripods up on both feet and on his forehead, then he slips out of bounds. 58 seconds to go in the first period. Jacob Fritzler leading 2-0. A takedown. And he's been riding the bulk of this first period. Yang tried to hit a switch, but Fritzler followed him nicely. Now Yang making his way up onto his feet. Tight waist grip by Fritzler. And dumps Yang right back down with 35 seconds to go in the first period. Big hard crossface by Jacob Fritzler. Trying to turn it into a corkscrew where you just twist right over and try and earn some back points out of it. 17 seconds to go in the first period. Let's see if he can maybe get that turned over for some back points in the final few seconds. Nope. He'll stay in control. Now Yang stands up, turns to face, and there's an escape with 3 seconds left. And the clock didn't start earlier and went for 4 or 5 seconds, so if that clock had started, Fritzler may not have given up that escape. As it is, the score is 2-1 as we head into the second period. Fritzler's going to work from the bottom to start out the second. Fritzler immediately gets put right back down in the referee's position. Now he's up onto his feet trying to break the tight waist grip. breaks free and gets his 1-point escape. He leads by a score of 3-1. Wrestlers on their feet. Two wrestlers, forehead to forehead. Not a very good shot by Yang, and Fritzler's able to spin by him and get the 2-point takedown. So Jacob Fritzler takes the lead by a score of 5-1. Now Yang up onto his feet, turns back in, but Fritzler holding on to a single leg, drives him right back down. Immediately comes into a half Nelson around the left side. Puts his left arm across the back of the neck, trying to crank out a half Nelson. Now gives up on that. They're near the edge of the mat, right in front of the Frederick fans, and they'll go out of bounds. 61 seconds left on the clock in the second period. It's a 5-1 lead for Jacob Fritzler. Fritzler's going to give up the free escape, and they're going to start on their feet. So it's 5-2 with 59 seconds to go in the second period. Fritzler in on the shot. He's got the double leg, and he'll tack on 2 more points to go up 7-2 with 47 seconds left in the second period. It's a good start to the evening for the Ford Morgan Mustangs. Here's a half Nelson, and Fritzler trying to get it cranked over, and he put Yang on his back. Big bridge by Yang to keep his shoulders up off the mat. Now Fritzler trying to sink that half Nelson in deep and settle it out. 20 seconds left in the second period. And Fritzler get it settled out for the pin. He got it. 3 minutes and 38 seconds to pin time. Attack 6 more on for the Ford Morgan Mustangs. Let's take a 30-second timeout. Back in 30 seconds on Morgan County's B106. Well, the Mustangs are 3 for 3 to start out this duel. Wins by Jacob Gherkin, Cody Carpenter, and Jacob Fritzler. And now Chris Schreiber's out on the mat. And he got a takedown and immediately got reversed. So we are tied 2-2. Schreiber this season, 19-11. They'll slide out of bounds. 1:34 to go in the first period. Schreiber's going to be working from the bottom now. Got a quick takedown and had it less than 5 seconds. Just immediately got reversed. His opponent, Noah Payne. I know there's a joke in there somewhere. The junior from Frederick, Noah Payne. 1:14 to go in the first period. We're still tied 2-2. Schreiber made it up onto his feet. Can't break the wrist grip. Gets dumped for a second time. Schreiber's had his opportunity. He's been able to get up onto his feet to beat the escape. Now, Payne looking for that 3/4 Nelson. He had a leg hooked and trying to reach through and pull the head straight back, but Schreiber's able to make it up onto his feet, and he does earn the escape. 38 seconds to go in the first period, and Schreiber leads by a score of 3-2. Two wrestlers on their feet, forehead to shoulder, ear to ear right now. Schreiber driving Payne out of bounds. 21 seconds to go in the first period. Just under attempt by Payne with a little short arm carry, I guess, and he's able to get it for a 2-point takedown. And that puts Payne up by a score of 4-3 now. Schreiber dumped down onto a hip. Payne right now on the left side, the period comes to a close, and Schreiber will trail at the end of 1. 4-3 to score. Payne is going to work from the bottom. Schreiber jumps on from the left side, and we're underway quickly here in the second period. A couple of sit-out attempts by Payne, and he's able to get turned back in. Turns the face, hanging over the front headlock. Schreiber up onto his feet. They break apart. There's the escape for Payne, and we're tied. 5-3. They put the point on the wrong side on the scoreboard. 5-3 to score. Another full-score fireman's carry by Payne, and he's able to work that for the second time. Shriver now down by a score of 7-3 with 1:15 to go in the second period. Payne riding from the left side. Shriver trying to get his hips up over the top of Payne, sitting essentially on top of him. Payne had a hold of used his legs to block off a leg of Shriver to prevent him from getting his hips up over the top. Had Shriver been able to do that, he'd been right into a pinning combination. Here's Shriver up onto his feet now. Stacked up briefly, but again, doesn't his hips. All of a sudden, he's got Payne on his back. Got at least 2 back points coming, and Shriver trying to get it settled out. He's got a reversal, and he's going to get 2 back points. So that's going to make the score 7-7. We're all tied up. 13 seconds left in the period. Shriver needs to hang on, not lose control, and give up a free point here. 5 seconds left in the period. Shriver trying to get Payne tilted over. Period's going to come to a close. And Shriver's tied up this match, 7-7. So we'll go to the third period. Shriver's going to work from the bottom. He stands up and again does the same thing. He slips back into Payne, and he'll quickly get a 2-point reversal. So just like that, Chris Shriver has the lead. He's up 9-2. He's reaching for half Nelson, but Payne just doing that chicken wing, trying to leverage and clear over. And Shriver is going to give up on it and maintain control. 1.5 to go in the match. Chris Shriver leading by a score of 9-7. Shriver puts Payne down onto a hip. 1:15 to go in the match. Chris Shriver leading by a score of 9-7. Mustangs have won the first 3 matches of this duel. Looking to keep that rolling. Shriver stretches out. Payne flattens him out. Not really working too hard. I'm surprised he hasn't been cautioned for stalling yet. 53 seconds left. Shriver again up by a score of 9-7. Works now from the right side. And here comes a sit out by Payne. And very close, but somehow Chris Shriver is able to get his hips back behind and stay in control. Here comes another sit out. Now Shriver not in as good a position. Payne reaching for a single leg. 28 seconds to go in the third period here. And Shriver's going to have to be careful. Does not want to give up a reversal. Now he's able to settle it back out, stay in control. 15 seconds left in the match. Shriver cranking away. Under 10 seconds to go here, just trying to hang on and win this one by a score of 9-7. 5 seconds left in the match. And he's going to do it. Shriver's going to hang on to win 9-7. And the Mustangs have won the first 4 matches of the duel. Nice win for Chris Shriver. Trailed by a score of 4-3 at the end of 1. He tied it back up 7-7 in the second. Got a nice reversal to start out the third period and then rode out the third period to win it 9-7. So that'll bring up Caleb Bell at 170 pounds to wrestle against Nick Henderson. Ehrlich Toyota East, whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East at 1209 Main Street in Fort Morgan will professionally fit you into your car or the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. Bell is underway. Bell freshman for the Mustangs. 12-9 this season. Got a shoulder brace on his left shoulder. Nick Henderson, just a freshman as well for the Frederick Warriors. Two wrestlers on their feet, and the cow catcher move by the Frederick wrestler doesn't work out for him, and Caleb Bell is able to keep his hips back and just settle in on top of him, for the 2-point takedown. Caleb Bell leading 2-0 with 1:10 to go in the first period. Been working for a half Nelson on the right side. Now he hits a big, hard right crossface. Looks like he has that corkscrew connected, just trying to walk around the head with it and earn some back points. He's got it settled in. Now reverse half Nelson with it, just trying to lift the head so that his opponent can't sprawl. Going to be a couple of back points out of this. Still trying to get it settled back. I think he'll get all 3 back points. The pinning combination looks to be gone. 3 back points. And then we've got some blood. So once the pinning combination was over, the official stopped it to get the blood cleaned up. So we can tell you about a couple more of our sponsors here. Central Auto Parts for the best prices and special offers on top quality car parts and accessories. Visit Central Auto Parts at 1001 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Premier Farm Credit is committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. Well, for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, it's been pin, decision, pin, decision. Jacob Gherkin got a pin. Cody Carpenter won by decision. Jacob Pritzler got a pin. Chris Shriver won by a decision. So that means that it's Caleb Bell's turn to get a pin. Bell again coming into this match with a 12-9 record. They're getting things cleaned up. Looks like the mess appears to be on Nick Henderson, the Frederick wrestler. So they're working on him. Bell is just marching back and forth on the mat, trying to stay loose while he waits for Henderson to get cleaned up. 34 seconds left in the first period, and Bell leads by a score of 5-0. They're still working. Bell can take his time and go over and check with Coach Spike Reynolds. You're listening to Fort Morgan Wrestling here in Morgan County's B106 as well as B106.com. Looks like they've finally got it all cleaned up, and we're ready to go. Again, 34 seconds to go in the first period. Caleb Bell leads by a score of 5-0. Got the takedown and put Henderson on his back. Bell riding from the right side. This is that same corkscrew move he used a moment ago. Now walk around the head. Starts with a crossface and then is able to lift up that arm and walk around the head. He's got Henderson had him stacked up, not quite far enough to get back points. 10 seconds left in the period. And it looks like Bell is going to ride out the first period and take a 5-0 lead. And there, well, it looks like Henderson got a cut on his left shoulder is what happened in there. And it started to leak again, so they're going to get that cleaned up again. While they do that, let's take a commercial break. Quick timeout. We're back after this here on Morgan County's B106. Well, a butterfly Band-Aid must have been the solution. They got the blood cleaned up. Two wrestlers started the second period on their feet, and Bell gets another takedown. He goes up by a score of 7-0. Now he's got the half Nelson in, and he's trying to crank it over. Back points beginning to be waved off. Caleb Bell working for the pin here. Now he's got it sunk down far enough that back points will be awarded. Can he seal it off and get the pin with a minute to go in the second period? There it is. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to pin time for Caleb Bell. So the pattern holds. Pin, decision, pin, decision, pin. And Elabrina Jesus Ibarra had 182 pounds. Mustangs have won the first 5 matches of this duel. And they're going to be bumping up Toby McBride to wrestle at 220, so they will not give up. No, that's not true. They have 1 open weight. Well, they'll give up 1 forfeit, so the shutout, not a possibility. That's a long ways away. We still have plenty of matches to wrestle, though. Ibarra out on his feet, gets driven out of bounds by Nick Letkemiller. Up to the big boys here at 182 pounds. Letkemiller shoves Ibarra right off the edge of the mat. Two wrestlers looking for position. And they're going to go down side by side. Ibarra lands on top, but was riding way high. Eventually, he gets taken down. Letkemiller gets the takedown, so the score is 2-0. Ibarra working from the bottom of the referee's position with 1:15 to go in the first period. Mustangs lead in the duel 24-0. Frederick Warriors are guaranteed 6 points with an open weight of 120 pounds for Fort Morgan. Ibarra out near the edge of the mat, flat on his stomach, and they'll go out of bounds. 53 seconds left in the first period. Jesus Ibarra, sophomore for the Mustangs. Not a lot by either wrestler off the whistle. Now Ibarra slowly works into a sit-out position. Gets busted flat back down onto his stomach again. Letkemiller working for a half Nelson on the right side. Gets his right arm in there on the back of the neck and now gives up on that. Nick Letkemiller of the Frederick Warriors riding from the right side. Has to hold that right arm, trying to bull drive, sticks his forehead right in the armpit, trying to drive Ibarra around. Ibarra is actually going to get cautioned for stalling. Hasn't been working very hard off the bottom here. Final few seconds of the first period. So at the end of 1, Jesus Ibarra trailing 2-0. The choice is going to be Frederick's, and Letkemiller is going to work from the bottom. Fifteen matches wrestled for Ibarra this year. He's 4-11. Letkemiller trying to make his way up onto his feet. Ibarra puts him on his back, but they're going to slip out of bounds. So Letkemiller goes back into the referee's position. Ibarra jumps on left side. Here's Letkemiller up onto his feet, and Ibarra hanging onto a single leg. Letkemiller jumps him down and gets the reversal. So Ibarra trailing 4-0. Letkemiller breaks Ibarra down flat on his stomach. Letkemiller tried to work a half Nelson from the right side. And Ibarra peels that arm off. They continue to work with 1 minute to go in the second period. Jesus Ibarra trailing by a score of 4-0. Guillotine by the big guy. Lifts the left arm of Ibarra up over the head, but Ibarra is not going to bend, so he won't go over. They're back into the referee's position, and Letkemiller riding with the right leg wrapped in there. Just grabs that big hard crossface on the head. Here's Ibarra up onto his feet for the escape. gets his first point of the match, and with 22 seconds left in the second, he trails 4-1. Ibarra can come up with the last-second takedown here. Clock winding down, 12 seconds to go in the second. Headlock by Ibarra. He may have it. He had it. They were side by side, though, and he couldn't finish out the takedown. And they go out of bounds with a second and a half left. So Ibarra had the chance, had a pretty good move, just couldn't hang on tight enough to finish it out. The second period will come to a close, and the score will be 4-1. Jesus Ibarra trailing. Had a nice move, just couldn't finish it out there in the second period. They're going to go on their feet to start out the third period. Tiff Ibarra can come up with another one of those headlocks. They're forehead to forehead. Clock still hasn't started. Ibarra gets shoved out of bounds, and they'll work back to the center. They stay forehead to forehead, each with a hold of a wrist, trying to gain some control here. Ibarra looking for a big move. Clock down under a minute and a half to go in the match. Jesus Ibarra trailing by a score of 4-1. There's a caution against the Frederick wrestler for stalling. So Ibarra continues to shove Letka Miller. Looked for the head. Looked for that headlock, wasn't there. He was able to pull back before he got in trouble. And they go out of bounds. Minute 6 left in the match. Now Letka Miller shoving back in to Ibarra. Ibarra with a double underhook drives down, and he's got Letka Miller down on his knees. Sprawled out on front, got control of his arm. What can he do with this with 50 seconds left in the match? He has some control, but he's going to have to get Letka Miller turned over. Actually, still doesn't have a takedown right now. He's hanging on to the front headlock. 38 seconds left. Now they're on their feet. They're going to go out of bounds. 35 seconds left. So a couple of opportunities for Ibarra. He just wasn't able to finish them off yet. See what he can do in the last 30 seconds. Letka Miller driving into Ibarra. 23 seconds left in the match. Excuse me. Ibarra clear out on the edge of the mat. 15 seconds left. He's running out of time. He'll pull Letka Miller out of bounds. 11 seconds left in the match. Time running short for the Mustang wrestler. 5 seconds. He's going to shove Letka Miller. Letka Miller's backing away. He's already been cautioned for stalling. It's not going to matter, though. Time is going to run out. And the final score is going to be 4-1. So Frederick gets their first points of the night on the 4-1 decision of Nick Letka Miller over Jesus Ibarra. Ibarra takes the loss. Toby McBride is listed on the bout sheet at 195 pounds. That's what he weighed in at. But they are going to scratch. McBride is going to scratch, or move up to 220, so 195 is going to be open. So no points for anybody at 195. We're ready to check in at 220. So McBride will have to check in first at 220. Is he going to get an opponent, or is Frederick is going to... Nope, Frederick's not going to wrestle him. So, because... Yep, both wrestlers are just going to bump up a weight because because Toby McBride had to go out on the mat first, Frederick was able to wait and then not send out their wrestler. So they bumped Zach Tomasco up to 285. So technically, McBride gets the forfeit at 220, and then Tomasco gets the forfeit at 285. Now we're up to 106 pounds, and Dustin Feather is going to get the forfeit at 106. So the dancing appears to be done here. And we're ready for a match at 113 pounds between Andy Bain and Jesse Ortiz. When it's all said and done, the dual score now is 36-9. Excuse me. And Andy Bain is out wrestling Jesse Ortiz at 113 pounds. Yeah, an interesting rule. One of the things that happens when they do that coin toss with odds and evens, it determines both who has the choice in the second period of the match, and it also determines who has to step out on the mat first. So the Mustangs had to step out on the mat first at 220, so Frederick had the opportunity to wait to decide if they really wanted to wrestle that match. Andy Bain gets taken down by Jesse Ortiz. Minute 23 to go in the first period. Bain, a freshman. 1-11 this year in matches wrestled. Bain gets tilted over. Not quite enough for his back point. We're moving quickly through this, though. We're going to have one open weight after this, and then only two more matches after this one. Here's the armbar on Andy Bain, and he gets turned over. Here come the back points. 45 seconds left in the first period. Bain keeping the left shoulder up off the mat. Didn't look like he was in a position to get pinned there. There's all three back points. So Bain trails 5-0. Big, hard crossface by Ortiz from Frederick. He's able to suck over Bain, and a couple of more back points coming with 20 seconds left. Two more back points. So Bain finds himself down 7-0 now. Bain gets tilted over again. All the back points coming here, so it's going to be three more, and that'll make the score 10-zip at the end of the first period. So Bain is going to get the choice, and he's going to want to start on their feet. Two wrestlers will work from their feet. Starting out the second period, Mustang freshman Andy Bain trailing 10-0. They're forehead to forehead. And Ortiz slips off to the side. Gets his two-point takedown. Big, hard crossface. Now Ortiz working a half Nelson, tries around the right side. Bain won't give him that. Minute 20 to go in the second period. Andy Bain down by a bunch. Mustang freshman trails 12-0. Big hard crossface from the left side, trying to turn it into a cradle. Looks like he's got it. Ortiz has it connected, and he flips Andy Bain over. This will be the match. It's either going to be a pin or a technical fall. Bain trying to keep his shoulder off so he can break out of the cradle. He does break out of the cradle, and there is the technical fall. 15-0. 2 minutes and 15 seconds, so 5 points on the team side for Frederick Warriors. Makes the dual score 36-14. And Frederick's Chance Warnock will come out and forfeit. Makes the dual score 36-20. And that'll bring Ian Wingstrom out for the Mustangs. Wingstrom going to wrestle Isaac Chavez. And we're down to our final two matches of the night. You're listening to Mustang Wrestling on KPRB Brush Fort Morgan, Morgan County's B106. Wingstrom in with a shot, got a single leg, and he picks it up. And a quick 2-point takedown. Wingstrom this season, just 2 losses on the year. 25-2. He lets up Chavez. They're going to work from their feet again. Here's another single leg, another 2 points for Wingstrom. Wingstrom gives the escape up again and leads it 4-2. They'll come back to the center with 1:18 to go in the first period. Justin Wood will have the final match of the night for the Mustangs. Clock underway, wrestlers on their feet. Wingstrom grabs another single leg, gets another takedown. Wingstrom again, one of 3 seniors on the squad here this year for the Mustangs. Wingstrom out on the front. 2 wrestlers are facing each other. Wingstrom had a front headlock, and now he's going to slip back in control. With 40 seconds to go in the first, now he gives the escape up, and Isaac Chavez, using a mouthpiece, and he lost it, so he'll pick it back up. 30 seconds to go in the first period now. Wingstrom had a double-leg shot, was trying to walk it up into a big, tight bear hug, but he couldn't quite get that done. Got another single leg, lifts it up again, switches off to a double, now right into the reverse half Nelson, puts Chavez onto his back. 13 seconds left in the first period, settles it into a regular half Nelson. And there's 1 minute and 51 seconds of pin time. It's the Mustangs back in the win column. And we're down to our final match of the night. Northern Colorado title. You don't have to close on your house alone. Northern Colorado title at 130 West Kiowa in Fort Morgan will provide you with a stress-free closing. And Bijou T-Quest, letter jackets, T-shirts, and more. Stop by 302 Main Street in Fort Morgan for all your sports apparel. Equitable Savings and Loan is another one of our sponsors tonight. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan in Fort Morgan and Brush. Justin Wood out there, the final match of the night. Wood, 12-9 this year. 2 wrestlers on their feet. Forehead to forehead over near the Fort Morgan bench. They'll split apart. Wood dancing near the out-of-bounds line, and they'll slip out with 1:27 to go in the first period. Mustangs in control of this duel. The score, 42-20. Scoreboard still says 9, but I've got 20 points. A couple of shots, but the wrestlers slip out of bounds with no points awarded. Wrestlers on their feet. 7 seconds to go in the first period of the final match tonight. Forehead to forehead. Out near the Fort Morgan bench again. We'll be back here in this gymnasium 3 weeks from now for the regional wrestling tournament, the state qualifying tournament. Several Mustangs looking to make it into the big show. It was a nice double leg by Wood, but didn't quite get in deep enough to sink it. 30 seconds left, and he's going to end up on top. Puts his opponent down onto his back, but not long enough to get the backboard driver. Gets the takedown. Here comes Cody Campos, his opponent, up onto his feet. He gets the escape with just 10 seconds left in the period. So our score is 2-1 with 5 seconds left in the first period. They'll go out of bounds with 2.5 ticks left on the clock. They come back into the second. So Wood leads it 2-1 at the end of the first period. Campos is going to work from the bottom of the referee's position. Wood ready to jump on to the left side, and we're underway in the second period. Campos quickly up onto his feet, and he'll break free from the escape. We're tied 2-2. Forehead to forehead. Justin Wood doing a lot of dancing out there. Minute 35 to go in the second period. Now they lock up forehead to forehead. Campos slides by on his shot. Now here's a shot by Wood. Got a double leg. Trying to drive it through. And he'll get the 2-point takedown. Justin Wood takes the lead, 4-2. Working out to the side. Campos leads 4-3. Minute 7 to go in the second period. Now the wrestlers all of a sudden have become quiet. Campos standing still in the center of the ring, and Wood beginning to dance now, but for several seconds they just stood frozen facing each other. 40 seconds left in the second period. Wood leads by a score of 4-3. The Mustang Senior in the final match of the night. Dual outcome not in question. Fort Morgan's up 42-20. Now the wrestlers freeze, staring at each other again. 15 seconds left in the second period. Very quiet. And there's a stalling warning that goes against Campos. That's the end of the second period. So at the end of 4-3. Justin Wood has the lead. Wood is going to work from the bottom to the final 2 minutes here tonight. Wood's shoe came untied. Frederick coach is going to come over and question something. While they do that, while they get that sorted out, we'll tell you about Morgan Community College. Don't let finances stand in the way of you pursuing your college education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session that will get you on the right track to find out what options are available to help you. No matter what age you are at MCC, you can imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goal. Colorado Plains Medical Center, another one of our sponsors tonight. Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night. When they do, every second counts. As a Level 3 trauma center, Colorado Plains Medical Center is ready to handle any kind of emergency. Colorado Plains Medical Center brings quality care to our community. We've got squared away, and we're back to the final 2 minutes of the night. Justin Wood leading by a score of 4-3, working from the bottom of the referee's position. Made it onto his feet briefly, got driven back down to the referee's position. Now here he comes up onto his feet again. Back down to a knee. Minute and a half to go in the match. Campos wraps a right leg in. Leg ride now drives Wood down flat onto his stomach. Working for control of the wrist. Looks like he's trying to crank out power half Nelson now. Here comes Wood onto his feet. Lets us slip out of bounds. 1 minute, 17 seconds left in the match. Wood back to the center. He's ready to go. Campos is going to jump on the left side. Wood up on his feet, trying to hit a switch, but just got driven around the other way. So they're back into the referee's position. Clock still hasn't started. Now the clock gets rolling. And neither wrestler's doing a lot. Now here's Wood up on his feet, trying to turn for the escape. Takes the lead 5-3. They're on their feet with a minute to go. Justin Wood leading by a score of 5-3. Excuse me. Campos, the Frederick wrestler, has been cautioned for stalling. Wood is not. 45 seconds left in the match, and Wood really is dancing away from Campos. Now they connect up forehead to forehead. Wood really needs to take a shot here to show some activity. There he does take the shot, but he's going to get cautioned for stalling right as he did. So both wrestlers have been cautioned for stalling now. 27 seconds left in the match. Wood's going to have to stay aggressive. Can't give up the points, the penalty points here. He's going to get driven off the edge of the mat again. They both shoot. And here's Wood with a single leg. Steps up to the side and standing, he's behind, but now they're on the feet again. Wood with a good double leg. Can he drive it out to finish out the match? He's got Campos on the hip. He gets the takedown. So he's going to take the lead. Justin Wood gets a nice win. And the final duel score is going to be 47-20. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll come back with a final wrap of this duel. Back after this on Morgan County's B106. Back for a final wrap here. The Mustangs win the duel. I said 47. It's actually just 45-20, but the Mustangs pick up the win. We started out at 138 pounds, and Jacob Gerken got a pin in 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Cody Carpenter had an 11-6 decision. At 145 pounds, Jacob Fritzler got a pin at 152 pounds over David Yang. Chris Schreiber got a 9-7 decision, a nice win for him. He was tied 7-7 at the end of the second period. Started out the third period with a reversal and rode out the entire third period to win that match 9-7. Caleb Bell got a pin over Nick Henderson in 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Jesus Ibarra lost a tough decision 4-1. He had a couple of opportunities, had a couple of moves that could have put his opponent on his back, just couldn't quite finish him out, so he ends up losing 4-1 the score there. And then the dancing began. Toby McBride weighed in for 195 pounds. He bumped up to 220 pounds, expecting to wrestle Zach Tomasco. But just the way the dance had to happen, McBride had to step out onto the mat first, and once he did, then Frederick was able to push Tomasco up a weight to 285, so the two did not meet. They just traded forfeits. So McBride picked up a forfeit at 220, and Tomasco picked up a forfeit at 285, and there was no match at all at 195. Then at 106 pounds, Dustin Feather picked up a forfeit for the Mustangs. Andy Bain lost by a technical fall to Jesse Ortiz. 15-0 the score there. And then Chance Warnock of the Warriors picked up a forfeit at 120 pounds. Ian Wingstrom pinned his opponent, Isaac Chavez, in a minute 51 seconds. And the final match of the night, a decision 7-3 for Fort Morgan's Justin Wood. So that is the final score here. We'll have the Morgan County Triple Duel coming up next weekend, and then we'll have regional wrestling the 15th and 16th. And all of our Fort Morgan wrestling from this point on going to be happening on our sister station, 1010 KSIR, and of course online at KSIR.com as well. So make sure and stay tuned. During the week we'll give you those schedule updates and tell you about those matches, but they'll be happening. We'll have the Morgan County Triple Duel and regional and state wrestling all on our sister station, 1010 KSIR. Thanks to Trenton back in the studio, keeping me on the air. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Need to tell you that our Mustang postgame show was brought to you by the High Plains Bank in Wiggins. The friendly staff at High Plains Bank in Wiggins is ready to assist you with a home loan, equity line of credit, commercial loan, or checking account. To receive hometown service on a higher plane, visit High Plains Bank. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jeremy Weathers on Morgan County's B106.